Listening to Christmas music yet?
Yeah.
Black Friday is my time.
I started it the week before Thanksgiving.
Oh, early.
Black Friday is a perfectly acceptable date.
I'll go fuck myself then.
Welcome to the Fantasy Beer League, where you get half-decent advice from half-decent guys. I'm your host, 12-year-old Sean Joyce. With me, as always, is Meatball Breath, Justin Giedel, our resident fantasy football expert, Matt Senni, and tonight's big loser and show producer, Vince Verico. So this is the second week in a row that you're sitting in with us, Vince. Anything specific happened that derailed your week this week?
Yeah, I'm tired of being on this side of the camera.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, everyone but Christian McCaffrey. Actually, no. TJ Hawkinson was good. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with him. But everyone besides McCaffrey, because he gets a pass, he got hurt. Mm-hmm. Fuck him. Yeah. They just did not perform for me this week.
And you also had Mahomes on a bye, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
So, tough draw, my friend, but let's see what you got to do tonight.
I got to shave half my face.
Half your face.
Half my face, yeah. Yeah, I'll accept that.
All right.
That's not that bad.
All right, well, we're going to break here. People at home might not notice because you'll just edit it out, but go in the bathroom and shave half your face and come back.
Okay.
Okay, Vince, let's see.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
I try to get it as even in the middle as I could.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh, my God.
Can you lift your neck up so I can see? That's probably the funniest part. All right, so take a selfie of that when you get a moment. Looks good, my friend. So, Justin, now that Vince is back with us and half of his face is shaven, can you please read the fine money owed from last week's super hammered, fucked up episode?
Sure. So, this is the final week of all fines going towards Movember. Vince, you owe $2 because your phone alarm went off last week while we were recording.
Fair enough.
Senni, you owe $4 for confidently saying that AJ Green was on the Seahawks.
I really get such confident.
And then said, if you have Thanksgiving on turkey, it is just the fucking shit during Sunday Night Football.
Yep. Thanksgiving on turkey.
Yeah. I owe $6. I said, I am drinking pint. When you asked what I was drinking during the Cowboys Thirsty Thursday game, and then I cleared my throat twice during the Seahawks versus Washington.
You made it all the way to the Monday night game without doing it, and then you did it twice in the span of like 5 minutes.
That's when the beer hit me. Sean, you owe $14.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You told Vince to take a squig of milk and instead of swig. The Patriots-Titans game was not for first place in the AFC. The Ravens were the 1 seed regardless.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Started to refer to the Las Vegas Raiders as Oakland and then just couldn't say Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Told me to talk about the Raiders after you just did that. Yep. Said Molid instead of Marshmallow. During Thirsty Thursday. Called Logan Tomlinson.
Yeah, that's close.
Said you wanted to go counterclockwise during Friendsgiving and then proceeded to go clockwise.
Yeah.
And then Senni owes an ice. Adrian Peterson was waived prior to the recording of last week's episode.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
So all debts must be paid. And since I think it was actually Justin did the ice for that answer, which was technically incorrect, we're going to seal that up after you read us the poll results, please.
Okay.
I caught the clockwise thing when you did it, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything.
So you're looking at November 29th, I believe, right? Is Dontrell Hilliard a made-up name? It definitely is. 86% of people say yes.
You win again.
Fuck else is no. Do you want to hug Debo?
Yeah.
64% yes to 36% no.
That's too low. He especially needs a hug right now.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Which is the best Star Wars? Only 25% of people are right with episode 3. 63% of people are followers with episode 5. Nobody said episode 6, which is like genuinely shocking.
Yeah.
And 12.5% of people said other, but there's no comments with what other is.
Fuck you. Whoever said other.
You can't say other and then
not say what it is. Yeah, piece of shit.
You're just like, you're wrong, but I'm not going to tell you why.
Bet it was Sports Nut Vels.
Are yams and sweet potatoes the same thing? 71% of people said yes.
Yeah.
And only 29 are dumb.
I'm pretty sure Justin said
I
they're
know,
different
because
a
you're
week.
wrong.
Yeah.
Have you ever drank Clover Farms milk? 11% of people say yes to 89% who are saying
Wow.
no.
Wow, so
89%
did you?
of people are
Not you.
I didn't vote. I didn't vote on that poll.
Oh,
I don't remember this coming up at all. Do you only need to recycle in Puerto Rico?
that was on
It
Justin's
was
can.
my can, yeah.
Okay, 20% said yes.
Trying to kill him.
To 80% who said no. Have you ever watched Thanksgiving?
Oh, great movie.
14% yes to 86% no.
86% of you are missing out.
If someone is playing against the Jets, do you have to start them?
Mm-hmm.
78% yes to about 22% no.
Nah, they're
Kind of how I feel this week. Will Javonte Williams get more carries as the season continues?
I fucking hope so.
3 out of 4 say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does Thanksgiving turkey just hit different like facts? 50-50.
Oh, 50-50.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not facts, apparently.
Do you ever use the associative property?
Big one.
17% of people are wrong, and 83% of people said no.
So 17 said yes?
Yes.
Sports Nut Vels again. Has to be.
No other reason. That's it.
That's all we got?
Yep.
All right, Senni. Here's your Smirnoff Ice. Justin, we're going to begin this week with the Giants and the Dolphins. It felt great to see the Giants win with my dad, especially over the Eagles. Mm-hmm. But is there any fantasy value on this team?
It's hard to be confident just because the volume is, I feel, being forced back into Saquon. But I mean, I don't think you're benching him, but I'm not as confident.
He gets like 2 yards per carry, so I mean, most of the plays are just run, get hit, fall down. It's not a great offense. They're also making an effort to get Kenny Golladay more involved. He saw a couple red zone targets, so they are trying to use the weapons that they're paying. But that does not necessarily translate to fantasy points. In a win, they only scored 13 points.
Yeah.
So it's hard to feel great about any of them, especially knowing that Daniel Jones is questionable going into this game now. Your boy Myles Gaskin scored twice on Sunday for the Dolphins. And Jalen Waddle had another productive fantasy day with 137 receiving yards. What do you expect to see from him this week?
I think he's their guy. I think he's their number one receiving option. I like him. The Giants defense did play very well this past week against a pretty bad young quarterback. So I don't know what to expect from the Dolphins this week, but I do like Waddle going into this matchup.
Yeah, I don't.
No?
James Bradbury has actually played very well for the Giants this
I keep
season.
forgetting he's on there.
Yeah, he shut down Devontae Smith. So I expect a moderate stat line at best for Jalen Waddle. I don't expect him to pop off like he has been.
I think you would need a touchdown for any kind of...
Yeah, or the other thing that they may possibly do is move him around to avoid the shadow. But I'm assuming that James Bradbury is going to stick with him because the rest of the Dolphins receivers are terrible.
Yep.
So there's no reason for him to be anywhere else on the field. All this being said, maybe the Giants have tricked me, but I'm taking them to win again, 20-16.
I'm going Giants too.
Yeah, me too.
They're going to get blown out.
Yeah.
I was going to put Jalen Waddle in until you said not to, so I didn't.
Oh, well, I hope he doesn't score
Me too.
25
Because I
points.
haven't started him twice now.
Yeah. Next, we have an NFC South matchup with the Bucs and the Falcons. Buccaneers won a thrilling game over the Colts in which Uncle Lenny scored 4 tutties.
Yep.
Gronk also had an old school performance with over 100 yards, but both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin were held in check. Will that be the case again this week, Justin?
I don't think so. Falcons are trash. I think they're going to light them up.
Yeah, I think so too. And Brady knows that those guys want to be involved, so he's going to make an effort to get them touchdowns. I like both of them this week. Both top 20 plays for me. Senni, can you name a running back on the Falcons?
It's funny because this is the question I thought you were going to ask.
Pretty sure I've asked before.
Is it Davis?
There is a Davis.
Wow.
Yeah, he's not good, but there is a Davis.
That's what I thought. And that, you know what? I knew it right away too, and I was like, this is going to be wrong. Wow, I'm happy now. Vince. Because I want to watch Vince drink this with half his face.
That would be good tent. Now, unfortunately, this is the last ice we currently have, so if you get the other 2 questions right, we'll do them at the top of the episode next week to make up for
An
it.
IOU.
IOU. IOUI. IOU ices.
ISIS.
Not that one. Justin, is
Yep.
Cordero Patterson now a set and forget running back one?
Somehow, I think he is. He's getting the volume in the rushing, the running game, and then he's always been prone to receiving. So, that pairs nicely for set it and forget it.
Last week he had a season high 16 carries. Like you said, he's always involved in the passing game. And it's very surprising that he's been used this way. I thought he was just going to be a flash in the pan early season success story, but he has been consistent.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that you're benching him, even if he has a poor game. I think I would have to see multiple consecutive bad weeks to put him on my bench. I'll take the Bucks to win. Obviously, they're playing the goddamn Falcons. 31-20.
Yeah, Tampa Bay.
Yep. It's Mike Davis, right?
Yeah.
Yep, Mike Davis.
I even knew the full name.
Yeah, you remember.
You don't get a
from,
second one for getting the full name.
No, but I did know it was Mike Davis.
Yeah, that
Pretty
was
proud.
You didn't know it the first time, but you retained the information. So props to you.
Correct, because you must have said it
I
last
did.
time you asked.
Yep. Good to know. I'll have to start trying to trick you a little harder. Next, we have the Cardinals and the Bears. If Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins are available to play on Sunday, what should managers expect to see from them?
I think Murray's going to want to come out and prove that he's back. So I'd like to be a big game from him. I don't see him getting much effort in the running game. I think he's going to stay in the pocket, get rid of the ball when he can. Hopkins, I'd like to see him put up the numbers that he's capable of. Mm-hmm. But this year especially, they're moving that ball around way too much. I feel like he's got to be touchdown dependent.
He certainly is. He has not been what you drafted him as. He's a wide receiver 2 at best for me.
Yeah.
I don't even think that you necessarily need to start him if he does play this week, depending on what your other options are. In the event that you picked somebody up who's been playing well in the past few games that he's missed, I'd be fine leaving him on the bench for a week, seeing what happens. For the Bears, Darnell Mooney had his second consecutive game with over 120 receiving yards on Thanksgiving against the Lions. Is he now a must-start every week?
I think so. Robinson just does not seem to be fitting in with that offense anymore. I think Mooney's their guy.
Yeah, he's been great. I can't imagine why you wouldn't play him. Unfortunately, he does appear to be better with Andy Dalton under center, so that's something to monitor.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? But if Justin Hurts ends up playing, I still think that you need to start Mooney.
Yep.
I'm going to take Arizona to win the game, 27-16.
Yeah, I'm going Arizona.
Always, yep.
Next, the Chargers and the Bengals. Even in a bad game, Justin Herbert produced almost 20 fantasy points, so he, Austin Eckler, and Keenan Allen are all lineup locks each and every week. Are there any other Chargers you're starting?
I don't think so. Jared Cook, it's week on, week off, and then I'm only starting Mike Williams because I really have to. With injuries and buys, that's the only reason he's in my starting lineup.
Mike Williams is still boom bust, just like he always has been for the past 4 years. Mm-hmm. Jared Cook is a tight end who sometimes scores, but you don't have to start him.
Yeah.
Absolutely no reason to start him. I think he scored this past weekend, but it hasn't been often for him. Joe Mixon has been on fire lately. He's a clear running back 1. But wide receiver Jamar Chase has not eclipsed 50 receiving yards in his past 4 games. Is he still a must-start?
I think so. The past 4 games, it's a bit concerning. Mm-hmm. But, I think he's still the number 1 receiving option on that team.
Yeah.
So I'd still, if I have him, I'm starting him.
Okay, fair enough. T. Higgins is actually my preferred option on the team if I had to pick a wide receiver, but I still view Jamar Chase as a wide receiver 3, maybe fringe, low-end wide receiver 2. Mm-hmm. I think the Chargers win this game in a shootout, 33-27.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers too.
Copycats. Vikings play the Lions. Fun times. Vikings are going to be without Dalvin Cook for multiple weeks. So what should managers expect from Alexander Mattison?
Big games. I think he's good.
Good analysis. I agree. In the same vein, if DeAndre Swift is forced to miss time, which it looks like he will likely be out at least this week with a shoulder sprain, what should we expect to see from backup Jamal Williams?
I think a pretty comparable role as Alexander Mattison on the opposite side of the field. I think he offers a lot in the goal line carries, and then he's good catching the ball out of the backfield too.
Yeah, he had 20 touches after DeAndre Swift was ruled out of the game last week, which is good.
Yep.
So he might be available. Try to put in a claim for him if you can. If he is not available, fuck you, you suck. I'll take the Vikings 21-13.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vikings. I can't pick the Lions.
Of course, I couldn't.
They got to win eventually, right? You would think.
No.
No.
We've
They got-
obviously seen that it's possible
It is.
for the
That's
Lions
true.
to
That's
not
true.
win
That's
eventually.
True. That's true. At least they got that tie. I would feel so bad for
They
them.
came as close to winning as they could without winning.
Yeah.
That's such a shame, dude.
It had to be against some garbage team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want the Lions to win a game more than anything. That'd be like a Super Bowl for them.
It would be. Like that year where the Browns finally won one.
It felt good.
Yeah.
Felt good. Next, we have a very interesting matchup between two teams that everyone cares about. The Eagles play the Jets. Senni, can you name an Eagles running back? An active Eagles running back, I'm sorry.
No, because I assume the starter's out. I used to know the starter's name. I can't even think of it anyway. It's so funny that you could ask me about the Eagles every week, and I still don't fucking know anybody.
And you live right here, and your whole family roots for them.
I still don't fucking care about them.
So Miles Sanders is the starter.
Mm-hmm.
He was banged up late in Sunday's game, and Boston Scott took over as the primary ball carrier to the tune of 13.2 fantasy points.
He's got a cool name.
Boston Scott?
Yeah.
He does. He's a Giant killer, too. He always plays well against the Giants. If Sanders is unable to play this week, should Boston Scott be started in his place?
I think so. The Eagles seem to be a run-happy team, and he's going to get a lot of the work, especially with how banged up that backfield is.
They're better when they run the ball anyway. They threw it a lot on Sunday, which made me happy. The more Jalen Hurts throws, the less chance they have to win.
Yeah.
He is what the haters thought Lamar Jackson would be. He's a running back playing quarterback.
Yep.
He can't throw. The man can't throw. But yeah, Boston Scott, the Eagles have a favorable matchup in terms of run defense against the Jets because the Jets are pretty bad at everything.
Yeah, Jets suck.
The only drawback, they are suck. The only thing that is a drawback is that the Eagles have a puzzling timeshare. So if Jordan Howard plays, maybe he gets some run. Kenneth Gainwell will get some snaps. It's tough for me to predict what this offense will look like in terms of running back snaps. Boston Scott is my preferred option, especially if Sanders and Howard are both out. I think he takes over the early down work. Kenneth Gainwell gets some receiving work, some third down work. I view him as a running back too if Sanders and Howard are both out. The Jets suck.
Yep.
Are you starting any of them?
Elijah Moore is the only one.
Yeah, he deserves consideration, especially in deeper leagues. He's still on the up and up. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, I think Zach Wilson is probably the worst quarterback on that roster. And he's the guy they have to start.
Yep.
They can't bench him. And with Michael Carter out, Tevin Coleman appears to be the lead back. But he's, not great. Only in the most desperate of desperate situations would I consider starting anybody not named Elijah Moore. I think the Eagles win this game 26-10.
Unfortunately, I do as well.
Yeah, I feel like they have to.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they're trying to make the playoffs. We're back in the mix, though, Vince. Giants are in the hunt,
There we go.
as are the football team and like 7 other teams. But we're in the hunt.
It's nice to see that we have a very bad record and we're still in the hunt.
You're in consideration.
Yeah,
I think the Eagles have the easiest remaining schedule coming up too.
they have a favorable schedule. I mean, they played the Giants. That was supposed to be an easy game. They lost. So
Yep.
hopefully the Jets beat them. I'm changing my pick. Jets win.
I'm not.
Jets.
Back-to-back New York losses.
Yeah, back to back. The Eagles
nice ring
also
to it.
don't have to get on a plane for the rest of the season.
That's insane.
All their games that they have to
Tri-state
travel
area.
to, or they have to take a bus. Yeah.
Wow.
So, fun fact, I suppose. But yeah, they have a very favorable matchup. They have a lot of NFC East matchups, which is a big deal. I think it's Washington has 5 straight NFC East games to end the season.
There's another team that has like 5 straight divisional matchups
Yeah,
to end this.
stupid. But
No, fuck.
well, the Browns play the Ravens. They played the Ravens. They have a bye. They play the Ravens again. So they play the Ravens in back-to-back games.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
It is. I think that 18th game fucked them up. I don't
Yeah.
like the 18th week. I gotta say, I liked it better when this was the last week before the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah.
That was my preferred time. That's enough of a tangent. So I want to ask you guys something really important about the Colts and the Texans.
Okay.
Michael Pittman Jr. now has back-to-back games with fewer than 10 fantasy points. Do you believe this is a bounce-back week for him, Justin?
I feel like it has to be. Colts are bad. Or not the Colts. The Texans are bad.
Texans are bad. The Colts are pretty good, but who knows who's actually good and
I
who
feel like the
sucks.
Colts have a tough schedule.
They do.
played a lot of good teams.
And they have a Carson Wentz, which
That's
is
true.
very inconsistent.
Yeah, the
Matt
gingerbread
Lamar
man.
loves him, though. Matt Lamar defends that man every chance he gets. I was looking at his tweets because since the Eagles lost, I wanted to see him if he was raging. And he was posting about, which quarterback would you rather have? Quarterback A, and he posted Carson Wentz's stats, or quarterback B, and he posted Jalen Hurts' stats. Yeah, he's a pain in the ass. I fucking hate him. Anyway, are you starting Brandon Cooks for the Texans?
Again, this week I have to, but I'm fucking done with him. If I can pick someone else up. He hasn't... he did score a touchdown this past week. But
I mean, he's not lighten it up, but nobody is on that team. And
That's true.
honestly, wide receiver has been a very inconsistent position. None of the top drafted guys have returned on their value. I mean, every once in a while they'll hit, but there's been a lot of hits or boom busts from pretty much every wide receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks, I think, is a fine wide receiver 2 to 3-ish every week. Probably wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
So I think you're starting him, not anyone else. Texans suck.
Yeah, they're suck.
Colts win 30-13.
Go Colts.
Yep.
Time to talk about Thirsty Thursday. This week, the Cowboys play the Saints, and in honor of Dallas, I am drinking Double Dry Hop Johnny Karate Super Awesome Musical Explosion Show.
Thought you made that up.
Wow.
I couldn't make that up if I wanted to. I'm not that creative. It's from Turning Point, which is in Bedford, Texas. It's a double dry hopped India Pale Ale with El Dorado, Sabro, Hallertau, Blanc, and Citra hops. It's a juicy, hazy IPA. It smells delicious. The taste falls a little bit flat for me. I still like it enough to view it in a positive light, but it's almost got a little bit of a watery finish. It doesn't. The flavor kind of falls off after the first initial sip. So I'll pass that around. You guys are...
I'm just looking at Vince's face.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why he's sitting in with us. It does look fucking hilarious. For the Cowboys, there have been rumors about Zeke being limited in the coming weeks to rest his knee. So Tony Pollard deserves some flex consideration, I believe. And if for some reason Zeke is out, he automatically enters running back 1 status.
Yeah.
So at the very least, he should be rostered in 100% of leagues. You're also obviously starting Dak each and every week, and Dalton Schultz has entered himself into that conversation as well. Plus Lamb and Cooper if they are able to play. There's no guarantee they're active. Lamb is trending in the right direction. I believe Cooper is dealing with COVID.
Yeah.
If one of them or both of them sit out, I do like Michael Gallup and Cedric Wilson as wide receiver 3 flex options, as they have 18 and 17 targets over the past 2 games, respectively, without Cooper and Lamb. I think the Cowboys win. Fuck the Saints, 69-0. Justin, tell me what you're drinking and tell me about the Saints.
Sure.
And then who's going to win?
Beautiful. So this was a beer I probably should have drank last week because it's lower ABV and it would have helped me out a lot. But I am drinking Purple Haze from Abita Brewing. I think
I
it's
took a pill in Abita.
There you go. I think it's Abita Springs, Louisiana, but it's a raspberry lager. I had this before in the past and I didn't like it. I'm really enjoying this. I think it'd be good on a... Let me take another sip.
That's great for audio.
Yeah.
Good job.
Nice and light. It kind of tastes like a raspberry like brisk iced tea.
That is what it tastes like. Not really what I'm looking for in beer, to be honest, but that is what it tastes like.
I feel like you can try it if you want to.
You might like that one, Vince.
It'd be good on like a nice summer day. Or swampy, hot ass Louisiana weather.
Down in the swamp.
Yeah. There's not much nice things to say about the Saints. If Kamara, if Kamara plays, I think you're starting him. There's rumors that Taysom Hill could be getting the starting position this week.
Believe he is.
I like him a lot if he plays. I mean, he offers enough in the passing game and then also in the rushing game. I think he's going to be a vulture when it comes to the red zone. So he can steal some touchdowns there. No one else I'm really giving a nod to this week from the Saints. I'm going Cowboys too. 71-0. Fuck the Saints.
Yeah, fuck the Saints. There's going to be an added safety in there. Senni, who do you think wins this game?
Well, the Cowboys are good, and I hate the Saints, so Dallas.
All right, I like it. Vince, you want to give a prediction?
I'm thinking fuck the Saints.
All right,
Only
fuck the
answer.
Saints. That's correct. Absolutely, he gets it. Now let's talk about another team nobody gives a fuck about, Washington and the Raiders. J.D. McKissick suffered a neck injury in Monday's win over Seattle. If he's forced to miss time, does the value of Antonio Gibson increase?
I'd like to think so, but he's been ass this year. So you really don't know. I mean, he has the ability to catch passes. He hasn't been. I don't know why.
Yep.
Something wrong with that offense, but it's really tough to tell. I'd like to say yes, but I'm not confident in his value increasing.
Once upon a time, he was touted as the Washington equivalent of Christian McCaffrey. And obviously that has not panned out. And is
he's
not
still
true.
healthy.
Well, that's true too. Zing. Christian Mcfragill. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, poor
his
Christian
fucking
McCaffrey.
$800 million.
Yeah, I guess that's a good. I don't want to talk about the dude's injury. I'm done talking about CMC. We're talking about Antonio Gibson. He has not been good.
No.
I have to imagine that he'll get more of the J.D. McKissick work, but I don't know that it translates to more success.
Yep.
So I don't see him moving from running back 2 territory to running back 1 territory. He's still a low-end running back 2 for me. The Raiders' offense looked great on Thanksgiving, but tight end Darren Waller left the contest early and is questionable to play this week. How does the value of the offense change without him?
I think it changes a lot. He's their number 1 target. I like Hunter Renfrow in his absence.
Yeah.
And Foster Moreau played well when filling in for Waller earlier in the year. I think he had 60 yards and a touchdown, so he put up decent numbers in his absence.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. It's still fuck Josh Jacobs for me because he needs a touchdown to be good, but he scores a lot of touchdowns. I hate it. It doesn't make any sense for him to be successful, but he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders win this game 30-24.
Yeah, I'm going Raiders too.
Going Washington.
That's the wrong
They're on a hot
answer.
streak. They're on a hot streak. I think they're the 7th seed in the NFC somehow. So they're making the playoffs if the season ended today. Thankfully, it does not.
Yeah.
Another playoff matchup for both teams here. The Jags play the Rams. Are you starting anyone on Jacksonville other than James Robinson?
No.
After securing 5 catches for 81 yards and a long touchdown, is it time to put Odell back in our lineups, Justin?
I don't know. Back in our lineups.
Yeah.
No. Rostering, yes. Lineups, maybe not yet.
Interesting. I think he's a wide receiver 2, low end.
Okay.
Or high end wide receiver 3 at worst. He saw 10 targets last week. He played 98% of the snaps. They didn't sign him for no reason. He's going to play. I don't think that he is that much more valuable than a Van Jefferson type, to be honest. But I do think that they'll try to feed him the ball and keep him happy because they know he's a diva. And they have a lot of those types of guys on the team, a lot of those diva types. It's a very cantankerous locker room.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Rams to win the game. I think Odell scores another touchdown.
I'm going to go Jags to be different.
I think my score prediction is 31-10, just to be clear here.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams. I don't think it's even possible, honestly.
I would be fun if the
Jags beat the Bills, didn't they?
They did.
9-6.
9-6.
12-9 this week.
12-9.
Lock it
All
in.
right, you heard it here first, folks. Go to your favorite sports betting app and
Don't
lock
listen
in
to me.
Justin's pick. This is a fun one. Always is. The Ravens play your Steelers.
Yeah, this is the best rivalry.
Senni, can you name an active running back on the Ravens?
I knew this was going to be the question. I knew it was going to be a Ravens question.
Well, I wouldn't ask you about your own team.
No, I know.
I know that's the team you know the most about.
No.
No? Devontae Freeman has led the Ravens backfield in touches for 4 straight weeks now. Is he now a reliable fantasy option, Justin?
I think he's reliable enough. I don't think he's an RB 1 or 2, maybe low end 3 flex. Well, not really a 3, but a low end flex.
Some places start 3 running backs. But yeah, I agree.
They shouldn't. But
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, dumb people. Do you start punters too, you fucking losers? Okay, I guess you didn't have anything to say there. The Steelers,
That was it, yeah.
the Steelers struggled against the Bengals on Sunday, and rookie Najee Harris found very little fantasy success as a result. He now has just 20 carries over his past 2 games combined, after logging at least 20 for 5 consecutive games before that. Is this a concern to you?
Not really. He's still their guy. The past 2 games, they were either down by a lot or were fighting to get back into the game. So it was going to go through the air. So I wouldn't fault him for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just matchup dependent, I suppose. I
Yeah.
mean, you're not benching him anyway.
No.
But the games in which they've trailed, obviously, it's been more game script. And they've been playing from behind each of the past 2 weeks. I think this game is going to be closer because I don't believe the Ravens are that good. They should have lost to the Lions.
Yep.
If not for a 68-yard field goal that bounced over the crossbar because Justin Tucker is God.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I'm picking the Ravens to win 23-16.
If this was in Baltimore, I would pick the Steelers. Or no, I would pick the Ravens, but I'm going Steelers.
I don't think we stand a fucking chance, honestly. I think we're going to get shit on.
I think you definitely stand a chance. I don't think either of these teams is great.
I don't.
Lamar Jackson threw 4 picks on.
Yeah, I mean,
Sunday
I don't
night.
think that the AFC North is as good as it's been in years past.
The Bengals might be the best team.
We're still the fucking worst in the division, though, so.
Yeah, you and the Browns. The Browns are not that good either.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield should not be playing football. He is very visibly injured
Yeah.
everywhere. He's like more injured than Carson Wentz.
Yeah, he's
Carson Wentz had 2 bad ankles at one point this season, but
he rolled both of his ankles.
yeah, he's such a goon, dude.
Oh my god, it's
I
like
just
stepping on
imagine
Legos.
sprockets of bone falling off his body when he runs for a first down.
He's made of Lincoln logs.
Yeah, exactly. That's going on the poll. Is Carson Wentz made of Lincoln Logs? 49ers play the Seahawks in what used to be a good game.
Yeah.
It appears that Deebo Samuel will miss time with a groin injury. 1 to 2 weeks is the estimated timeline. What do you expect to see from the offense without him?
I think Kittle gets an increase. I think Ayuk gets an increase, and the running backs will get more work. Debo's touchdowns that he scored the past 2 weeks have been rushing touchdowns.
3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Increased target share for Kittle and Ayuk, and increased carries for Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
Those are the only differences I see. I don't expect the offense to be as good without Debo. I think he's one of their best playmakers.
Yep.
But I'm still starting all 3 of those guys while he's out. The Seahawks fucking suck.
It's bad.
They're bad.
Unbelievable.
How should managers approach starting players on that team?
With caution. I mean, I think you're still starting Metcalf.
Yep.
I think Lockett still needs to be started because of his boom-bust potential, but really...
All he needs is one play, so it's hard to disagree.
Yeah, one 70-yard touchdown,
Yeah.
you get
Do the math.
15 points.
Close. 6 plus 7 plus 1.
Yeah. 14.
Okay, I was going to say 14.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get that wrong.
Yeah. Otherwise, our youth are in trouble. Yeah, and DK Metcalf, I mean, you got to throw that fat cock out there every week. It's just, you can't put him on your bench. Otherwise, he's going to come up behind you and
Right.
strangle you to death
With his dick.
with his dick, yeah.
Just
down.
to clarify.
I think the 49ers are going to win.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be
20
close.
to 14. Let me get my score prediction in, man. Stop stepping on my toes. Stop flopping DK Metcalf's cock on my toes.
Yeah, go Niners.
Yeah, I agree.
Sunday Night Football.
We've been waiting all day for Sunday night.
Senni, what have you waiting all day to talk about?
I've been waiting all day to talk about moving out. You need to move the fuck out of your parents' house. You just need to do it. It's not even a question. And as I thought about this, I realized like there's obviously some people that are in like specific situations that involve them having to like take care of like their parents or a family member. But I'm going to be honest, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
If you have like personal issues that like are the reason why you're at home because you're unstable, I'm sorry, that's your fucking fault. Like you need to get the fuck out. And I know too many people that like still live at home at an unreasonable age. So I tried to think about like what did I think was a fair age, because to be obviously if you don't know, I moved out at 21. Okay, and most people don't do that. Okay, again, I got engaged the summer after graduation. I moved out immediately. Obviously, most people don't do that. So I tried to be fair, and I went with 28 is my opinion. Okay, you guys are welcome to give your opinion in a second. I think 30 is way too fucking late. I'm sorry, it's just my personal opinion. I think if like you're moving out at 30, it's because your parents are kicking you out at that point. They're saying you're fucking 30, get out of the house. Obviously not everyone moves out right after college because a lot of people are smarter than I was. They save so they can buy a house, so they can, do what they need to do. And I absolutely respect that. But I think you reach your late 20s, and I think you need to get the fuck out of the house. I think you need to have a job by then that makes enough money. And honestly, if you didn't go to college, that's fine. But like, you should have started working and like worked your way up where you can move out to at least an apartment. But like, I think it's embarrassing like to be in your late 20s and still live at home. It's a personal opinion. You can disagree, think I'm an asshole. I really don't care. And I think it's worse, and I'm obviously not naming names here, but when you have siblings and you're the one left in the house. I think that if like you're like, you have 2 or 3 siblings and they've all moved out and you're still home, you should be looking at that like, why are they out and I'm still here? I think a lot of people move out because they're embarrassed at that point. But I think if you're content with living at home in your late 20s, that's a problem. So that's just my opinion. I don't know if you guys have a different opinion on it, but I'm just putting that out there.
Well, I agree with the last thing you said. If you're not actively trying to do it, then it's an issue.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's a little different. So when you're financially stable is when you should move out. But you need to be making steps to become financially stable. And if you're not, then you're just wasting your life. Because you can't live at home forever. You shouldn't want to live at home forever. But I agree. I would say 30 is the absolute latest.
Yeah, that's where I would put it.
If you're in your 30s and still living at home, it must feel miserable. I can't imagine doing that. And like, I always feel like, worst case scenario, if I lose my job, if I'm totally fucked, I could move back home. But I don't want to live with my parents. And my parents probably honestly don't want to live with me. And they shouldn't want to. It shouldn't be like that forever. So if you're at home and you're fine with living at home and you're in your late 20s to early 30s, that's a problem.
And I want to throw this in there before I forget. I know people who moved out and then they lost their job or whatever and they moved back home. And I get that happens, but I think it's that should be a very temporary thing.
Oh, it should be temporary, yeah.
People are don't get back on their feet. And I know people personally that I'm close friends with who moved back home and have now been there for a year or two. And I'm thinking your parents can't be happy about that. They're probably excited. I'm sorry, I'm just being a jerk, but probably excited that you were gone just to at least have some kind of quiet.
Yeah.
They can start fucking on the couch.
Yeah, and even they don't have to fucking feed you.
Yeah.
And obviously there's tons of parents out there that, will feed you forever because they just don't fucking care and they're supportive. I think that's a mistake. I think they're not helping you by doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just want to throw that in before I forgot.
Vince, go ahead.
I think it's tough to pick an age to move out at, but I think you guys are right with the 30 being way too late. Because I moved out at 26 and I left, and I'm going to say I love my family and my parents and my brothers. I wouldn't have anyone else but them. But when I was getting ready to move out, I was fucking ready.
Yeah,
I was at a point where I was just ready to get any job that I could just so I could move out. Because after living with 4 other people and working around their schedules and their personalities, it was just draining.
Yeah.
So I was just, for me, I needed to get out. And if you're someone who doesn't want to leave your home, you have to assess why.
Yeah.
Because you have to leave at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't end up like the stepbrothers and
exactly.
living with your parents.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I would say 30 is the cutoff. But Senni, the first point that you made, it obviously depends on the situation too. Like if parents are in bad health and taking care of them and supporting them, I think that's one thing.
That's an extreme scenario.
Yeah, and it's
different.
not happening to everyone, obviously. But if you're not actively searching and looking to get out and you're just content with being at home, I think that's an issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it really depends. I mean, people that go back to school, spend a longer time in school and maybe don't have the amount of time to work a full-time job to live on their own. That's one thing. So it really depends on the situation. But if you're graduated out of school, have a full-time job and then still living at home, what are you doing?
And not making moves to do it.
Yeah.
My plan was to pay off my student loans and then move out. So that's what I did. So I lived at home. I saved money. Now I don't have as much spending money as I did before, but I'd rather have independence than be sitting in my parents' house working and just collecting checks.
You learn how to balance and budget when you move out as well. I feel like it prepares you more for, even if it's just, I mean, I'm renting right now. I don't own a physical house or anything that. But you learn how to budget. You learn okay, I have this coming in. These are my expenses. It prepares you for later on in life.
Right. And one thing that I wish would be better budgeted is the timeshare between Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon 3. Javonte Williams had a productive day on Sunday with over 100 yards and a touchdown, but was once again out-touched by Melvin Gordon 3. I don't understand why this fucking guy won't go away.
I don't get it.
Free Javonte Williams.
After this year, Melvin Gordon will be gone.
He will. But we're not in next year. We're not in season 3. We're in season 2 of the FBL. So, FJW and FMG3 and VF as well. So, Justin, I have a question for you. HDYVDRGITGJ.
I like Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy and Noah Fant. Cortland Sutton, I feel like, has been going downhill. And I don't know why. I think he's my preferred option on the team.
Cortland Sutton?
Yeah.
Oh, strong disagree.
I mean, I'm not going to start him anymore.
Really?
No, I don't even think he should be rostered.
Wow.
He hasn't seen more than 5 targets since week 6. He has been brutal. Kansas City's defense has been better, so I'm not really expecting much from any of their pass catchers. Perhaps Noah Fant. But, yeah, Jerry Jeudy is the only wide receiver I'd consider starting on this team. And Cortland Sutton, I don't even think needs to be rostered. He has been bad lately. And, I mean, it's not his fault. He's not seeing the ball.
Yeah.
But when Jerry Jeudy is active, he is a ghost.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't have any interest in Cortland Sutton. After seeing him score in his return to action, how comfortable are you with starting CEH this week?
I mean, it's tough. The Broncos' defense isn't bad. So I think it would be touchdown dependent for him to have any kind of like fantasy relevance. But I mean, with this Chiefs offense, really anything could happen. So I feel like if this could be a week where you keep him on the bench, he gets a touchdown and 100 yards. But if you start him, he gets 30 yards and gets hurt.
I'm starting him. I have him as a low-end running back too. I was encouraged when he played because he was getting a lot of work, more than I thought he would. I thought it'd be more of a timeshare when he returned, but he outsnapped and outtouched Darrell Williams by quite a bit, which was encouraging for me to see. He may not score as many touchdowns, but there aren't that many great running backs out there. I think he'll get you between 10 to 15 points every week. I'm going to take the Chiefs to win this game. I think it's going to be ugly, boring, 21-13.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chiefs as well.
Yeah, me too.
Our last game of the week
is the Patriots
at the Bills. New England has been an excellent real-life team, but Nick Folk and their defense are the only real fantasy stars. Are there any offensive weapons you're starting against the Bills this week?
I don't think so. It's, like you said, they're a great real-life football team, but it's not a very fantasy friendly offense. Yeah,
Mac Jones might be the best quarterback in this last year's draft, but he doesn't get that many fantasy points. He's a great game manager. He's perfect for Bill Belichick's system. They have 2 good running backs in Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson, but they're in a bit of a split right now, and they're both good running backs. They don't catch many passes. So you have to pick which one is going to score a touchdown for that to cash for you. And Jacoby Myers is a fine deep league flex play, but he offers very little upside. He doesn't score touchdowns. He doesn't catch long passes. He's just like a standard guy to plug in for 10 points, which is not something to be overly excited about. Do you have any concerns about starting a Bill against this New England defense?
Some concerns, just because the Patriots defense is very good, and they're prone to shutting down an offense's number one option.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't think that should deter you. You're not benching Diggs. You're not benching Allen. But just temper expectations a little bit.
I think that's the right approach. I do expect Bill Belichick to make a concerted effort to take away Stephon Diggs. So I think this could be a sneaky Cole Beasley game where he feasts in the middle of the field while Diggs is being doubled up. But like you said, not benching any of those guys, or either of those guys, I should say. But I am tempering my expectations. I think it might be closer to a low output than a boom week for both of those players. All that being said, I do think the Bills win this game 26-23.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bills.
Really, I really thought the Patriots were showing this week, honestly.
Maybe they will be. I mean, they're both good teams. I think it's going to be close.
I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think it really depends on which Bills team shows up.
Agreed.
Yeah, they're
inconsistent.
They have been inconsistent. Maybe Senni is the smartest of us all. That would not be a shock to anybody. Okay. So, Vince, thank you for sitting in with us with your half-shaven face. I do appreciate it. It looks great. I can't wait to post that on Instagram.
Got him.
What did you do? I do want to take a quick second to shout out the Du Bois, which is the team that Senni and I played on in Devontae's Sports Day League, which was fun. We lost in track. Wonder why. And basketball.
Crazy.
And then we swept the rest of the events. Senni crushed it in soccer. We won in football. We won in volleyball. It was a good time. Just wanted to take a moment to appreciate that, recap my Thanksgiving weekend, and share that we won because I love winning and I'm competitive. So thank you at home for watching the Fantasy Beer League. We'll be with you every Wednesday with audio-only podcasts available on Spotify and Apple. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube page so you can see Vince's beautiful half-shaven face and my Du Bois jersey, which fits my personality like nothing else I've ever owned.
The Du Bois.
The Du Bois. I mean, that's what I think it is, right?
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I have a picture of Sean Peoples with it on, which is even funnier because he's
So funny.
the pastiest person I've ever seen in my life. I'm Sean Joyce. He's Justin Giel. Thanks again to Vince Verico for everything he does behind the scenes and for sitting in with us the past 2 weeks. Hopefully you're not here. I really don't want you to lose again next week.
I would really
I would
like
feel
to not
bad.
be.
I would feel really bad if I had to punish you 3 weeks in a row. But here's Matt Senni with his advice of the week.
Seriously, though, why are you still at home? You need to move out like yesterday.
That's going to do it. Good luck in week 13.